Hi everybody, Paul here. Haven't done a video for a couple of weeks because I've been on vacation. I took the family to um, Washington State to see my parents, and also a trip to Glacier National Park in Montana. So we're back, and we had a great time. Really a beautiful country up there. And I had a request to do a video on my favorite creams a while back, and so I'm going to go ahead and do that today. Not a big shaving cream user. When I first started out wet shaving, I used to use shaving cream quite a bit, but I've kind of migrated to mostly hard soaps or soft soaps. But I do still have a few creams left, and I'll point out a few of my favorites here. So we'll go ahead and get going with that. First off, these are in no particular order, but first off I have the Cade cream. This is a really good cream. Smells great, and lathers really nice. I actually really like their hard soap as well, but the cream is pretty good too. So that's number one. Number two is the Ingram's cream. This was sent to me I don't know if it's, I guess it's backwards, but Ingram's cream. This is a mentholated cream from the UK. This was sent to me by a Facebook friend several years ago, and I've been using it kind of sparingly. The interesting thing about this cream is that it is fairly liquidy, and you would think looking at it, it wouldn't really lather that well, but surprisingly it works really quite well. Makes a nice lather, and even though it's kind of runny when you squirt it out of the tube, it works great, and just has kind of a soapy smell with a nice light menthol tingle. So good quality, low cost cream. And no favorite cream review would be complete without a Parazzo. This is a Parazzo Blue. Actually, my favorite Parazzo is the Parazzo Green. I like the smell of that eucalyptus and menthol, but the blue's okay. The lather ability of this is equal to any of the other ones. So Parazzo. This one, the smell on it's kind of interesting. Kind of like it got a little bit of a licorice sort of scent to it or something like that. Kind of a odd scent, but works really good. Next one is the Trumper's Eucris. This is a great scent. The scent of this cream is outstanding, and the performance is really good as well. So Trumper's Eucris cream. Unfortunately, the soap version of this is terrible. I had a puck of this soap a couple years ago. Couldn't get the stuff to lather with a hoot, and this seems to be a common problem with this Trumper's Eucris soap, which is a shame because the scent is awesome. So if I want to have this scent, I have to use the cream, which is great. So next is the Truefit & Hill Rose. This is really one of the best rose scented shaving products around. This stuff smells fantastic. It works great, and it really is a luxurious smelling cream. And if you love rose and you're not opposed to using a cream, this would be a good one to try. And lastly, this was sent to me by Bruce Weber a while back as a gift. But that is the St. James of London, and the one I have is the Cedar Wood and Clary Sage, and man, this stuff smells awesome. This really is one of the best creams that I've had, and the scent on this is just fantastic. So this is a really great stuff. This brand might actually be my absolute favorite cream. But anyways, this is the St. James of London cream. Really good stuff. So there you have it. Those are kind of my favorite creams, and today I'm going to do a shave. I haven't used the Eucris in quite a while, so thought I would go ahead and use that one for my shave. In the interest of time, I have used my Georgetown pottery scuttle to make to get the lather started and bowl lather. I don't bowl lather that much. Usually I just face lather, but I just thought in the interest of time I'd go ahead and use this, break this out for old time's sake. For my razor, I'm going to be using the Gillette Senator. Again, haven't used this for a while. This is a really cool razor. This is a Gillette open comb razor with that has the kind of the silo doors on it, and a really cool razor. This one has been replated in rhodium by Razors Emporium. And then for my blade, I'm going to be using a Gillette 7 o'clock black, and for my brush, although it's covered in shaving cream, this is the Wolf Whiskers brush, and it's got a synthetic knot in it, and the resin I think is called, I don't know what the heck it's called, Party on Bourbon Street or something like that, kind of a Mardi Gras sort of colors, purple and green and gold. So there you go. So we'll go ahead and get started. Just going to wet my face here, and we'll get started with the shave. So like I said, I did bowl lather this, so I'll just kind of finish it up here on my face, get it incorporated in here a little bit better. The Eucris cream is really just an awesome, awesome scent. So if you've never experienced the scent of this cream, or the scent of Eucris, the Eucris scent, it is definitely one that is worth taking a look at. Okay, there we go. Okay, get all the splatter off here. And we'll get going with the shave. The Senator is a nice, real nice shaver. It's very comfortable. I have to say that, in all honesty, I really prefer the feel of my Red Tip and my Aristocrat over this one, but it's pretty decent. It gets the job done. It's pretty comfortable, but it just doesn't feel quite as comfortable to me as the other two. As you can see, this stuff really forms a pretty outstanding lather. Okay. And of course I used way too much in my bowl there. I probably could have got away with like about a third of what I put in there, but oh well. Better too much than not enough. This cream, when you get the mix right, really does give a nice, smooth, comfortable shave. The glide is really nice, and it's very protective. And this really works well. Okay, pass number 3. Alright. And I do think creams are kind of nice to start out with if you're when you first start getting into the wet shaving game. Sometimes the creams are a little bit easier to start out with. They seem to be a little bit easier to lather. You can lather them in the bowl, which I think a lot of guys will start out with, because that way you can sort of add your water slowly and kind of learn what it takes to build a good lather. And usually then, after you kind of get the hang of it, then you can kind of transition to face lathering. A lot of times I will just face lather these creams too. I'll just take the little dollop of the cream and just smear it on my face and then just lather right to the face. And probably most of the time that's what I'll do, rather than using the added step of the bowl. I don't really, I kind of enjoy the feeling of making the lather on my face. I think you get a little bit of, kind of helps work the soap into the whiskers a little bit better as you're building that lather up. Alright, gonna rinse this off real quick. Alrighty. Really nice, comfortable shave. That Gillette Black really worked well in that razor. Since I am here in Arizona and it is hotter than the dickens out, I'm going to go ahead and use the Osage for my aftershave. I recently picked up a new bottle of Osage. It's probably been a couple years since I had this stuff. And it's a nice menthol aftershave, and it's really dirt cheap. I think I paid like $4 for this gigantic bottle. So really inexpensive, and if you like menthol, this stuff works great. You know, the menthol level in this is pretty high, but you know, some of the artisanal menthol aftershaves are stronger. You know, like the fine snake bite and the cryogen from Chiseled Face. Those are still, I think, stronger than this. But this is pretty dang good, and it is, like I said, pretty inexpensive. So I'll let that dry for a second, but I'm going to top that off. Since I love the scent of the Eucris, I'm going to go ahead and top that off with the Eucris EDT. We'll go ahead and apply that here for my stink of the day, or scent of the day. The interesting thing about this is it doesn't have a vaporizer, it just has a little tiny pour tab. You just pour this on your hand and then apply it. And I have used this just as an aftershave as well. it does have some alcohol in it, and but because it's a EDT, it does tend to stick around a little bit longer. But because it's so hot out here today, I went ahead and used the Osage rub just to get that menthol tingle before I applied my EDT. So anyways, guys, that's the shave today. If you have any questions, comments, leave them below, and I'll get back to them as soon as I can. Have a great weekend. Talk to you later. Bye.